A delegation of 4 Ugandan lawmakers from the Defense and Internal Affairs Committee, led by their chairperson Benny Namugwanya Bugembe of Mubende, Muwanga Kivumbi of Butambala County, Eria Kupita of Kaberamaido County, and Sara Nakawundo of Mpigi were in Dar-es-salaam Tanzania this week. Key on the agenda is to seek the role of the East African Legislative Assembly in ensuring that peace and security in the region is fast-tracked by regional leaders, especially among member states. Currently, urgent attention, according to lawmakers, is the volatile East African nation Burundi.
Security is very key to any country. And when we look at East Africa today, and what plans EAC has in the Burundi crisis, these are our brothers.
Yeah, because there are certain areas, if you just allow everybody to take their own direction, then you endanger the whole thing.
The Speaker of the East African Legislative Assembly, Dan Kidega, urged all national parliaments in the region to exert more pressure on their governments so that the process of setting up an East African standby force is expedited.
That the standby force for East Africa is long overdue, waited for. It is so sad that today the debate is whether to deploy the African Union peacekeeping force in Burundi. Meanwhile, if we had this standby force in place and with clear command structure, we will not be stretching ourselves too far to go to the African Union. So I totally agree with you, and we as legislators must put our feet together to continuously put the executive under pressure to make sure such things are put in place.
EALA passed the Peace and Security Protocol that binds member states to cooperate to ensure that peace prevails in the region. The region is under pressure to deal with emerging security challenges like terrorism, piracy, cybercrime, human trafficking, arms trafficking, and money laundering. Kidega said elections in the region are also becoming a matter of concern and a trigger to insecurity.
So elections also are proving to be vulnerable points of making our region not very stable. So we need to put our acts together to see how best we can work to make sure the region is more secure.
Much as the region also has a mutual defense pact of which all member states agree to cooperate to counter terrorism, the standby force proposal remains a paper tiger. However, Tanzania is still not a member of the mutual defense pact.
But we are not reinventing the wheel. We have other defense pacts in the world. The NATO is in place and it is operational. ECOWAS have an intervention mechanism. Okay, so we can, and actually East Africa is taken to be the most the fastest growing regional bloc, and we cannot just be fast growing in terms of trade and otherwise only, because that would be a paper cake.
It was agreed that armed forces from member countries will conduct joint military operations when combating terrorism and other international crimes. It means an attack on one is considered another attack on all. Jingo Francis, NTV, Dar-es-salaam in Tanzania.